Trespass works by telling me that I can't go back, and if I go back, then you can ID me. Until that point, you can't ID me.
Hey, can you come out and look at this guy right here? Well, the people at Stalemate carry one trespass, and he's out here reporting me, and you know, 41, sovereign citizen.
Oh, I'm a sovereign citizen, huh? Because I refuse to give you ID? Because you won't tell me under what, under Title 34? You won't tell me what condition under Title 34? You're busy with me, yet you're not going to go chase him down for
well, if I wasn't dealing with you...
Well, you know what? And you don't have to deal with me.
Well,
so am I being detained? Am I being detained? Am I being detained?
As of right now, yeah.
What's your name and badge number?
Officer Aguirre, number 50.
LaPorte City Police Department?
City Police Department.
Under what am I being detained for?
I just told you. They want you trespass from there because you were over there.
Okay. Okay, so I won't go back over there. Now.
Getting a supervisor like you requested.
Okay, so if we don't need anything else, then I'll be on my way.
No, you're not done. We're not done here.
Why am I not done?
The encounter begins with a simple legal reality that the officer either ignores or refuses to understand. Trespass laws do not magically grant police the authority to demand identification from anyone standing on a public sidewalk. Yet within seconds, the officer escalates the situation, claiming detention powers without identifying any actual crime. The citizen repeatedly asks the most important question possible: am I being detained? And when the officer finally says yes, he still cannot articulate a lawful basis for the detention itself. Instead, the officer leans on vague references to complaints and property concerns while refusing to explain what statute allegedly authorizes his demands. What should have been a brief conversation quickly transforms into a confrontation fueled by ego and misunderstanding. Rather than respecting constitutional boundaries, the officer treats rights like obstacles standing in the way of compliance, exposing how fragile accountability becomes when authority replaces knowledge of the law.
Why am I not done?
Because I need your identification.
You're not getting it. Unless you give me a reason under Title 34, you're not getting my ID. You're not getting my ID, I guarantee it. What you will get is a lawsuit, not my ID. That's exactly what you'll get.
I'm recording you as well. Just so
I know you are.
I'm recording.
That's fine.
I'm going to go sit in my car until my supervisor gets here.
Okay. So am I still being detained even though you're in your car? So am I being detained though? Is that official detainment?
Yeah, you're not free to
I'm just asking you. That's if I'm not free to leave, I'll stay here. I don't care. You can go sit in your car and I'll stay right here. I just wanted to know since you're going back to your car. That's not normal. That's not standard procedure. So I just wanted to know because I have no problem staying here. That's just weird that you're going to go back to your car, you know?
Were you bored? You got to like grab EMS and someone that just lost a family member?
Okay.
You're over there like recording there on their property.
I'm not recording on their property.
Okay, so they want you to trespass from there.
I'm not recording on their property.
Because I want everybody to see this.
Okay.
All right, you were over there harassing somebody that just lost a family member.
But I wasn't.
EMS.
I wasn't. Okay, so let's walk down here to the edge of the building. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. Let's go to the edge of the building and I'm going to show you this. I didn't even walk past the alleyway. I didn't even walk past the alleyway. I have it on video. If you search me to give...
As the detention continues, the officer's position grows increasingly unstable. The citizen calmly explains that recording from public property is legal and repeatedly asks the officer to identify the legal grounds for demanding ID under Title 34. But instead of providing answers, the officer responds with frustration, sarcasm, and repeated commands unsupported by law. The accusation shifts constantly. First it is trespass, then harassment, then vague claims about upsetting hospital staff. None of it establishes reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. The officer insists the citizen cannot remain free to leave, yet fails to explain why. This is where the interaction stops resembling legitimate policing and starts looking like an attempt to force compliance through intimidation alone. The citizen's refusal to surrender his rights frustrates the officer because the officer expected obedience, not legal pushback. And once challenged publicly, the weakness of the detention becomes increasingly difficult to hide.
You're going to have a lawsuit. I will not give you an ID unless you give me a reason under Title 34 to have it. That's all. That's the only way you're getting it.
All right.
Because you cannot trespass me from a public sidewalk.
Yes, I can. You weren't on a public
You can trespass me from a public sidewalk? Go. You know what? Go fuck yourself, dude. You cannot do that.
And the person lost a family member saying you were on the property.
I wasn't on the property. A lot of people think if I show you the video, then will you arrest them for false informing? If I show you the video, will you arrest them for false informing?
Sure, go ahead. So I'm not going to arrest them, but I like to see the video.
You're not going to arrest them for false informing if I show you the video. It is because they lied. They lied and said that I was on their property. You know what? You better find out the IC code not only about that, but also about IDing before you decide to do anything stupid today. Yeah. And then when we're done here, I'm gonna go back over there, and if they're outside, and I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna take pictures of every single one of them out there. I'm gonna run them through facial recognition software. I'm gonna find out who they are, and then I'm gonna make sure they're prosecuted for false informing. Since you're not going to do that. No, because I'm going to take the pictures from over here.
So you're going to harass somebody that just lost.
I'm not harassing nobody. They're harassing me because I did nothing to them. They're harassing me.
The lady's literally on the spot.
They're calling and false informing.
The confrontation intensifies when the officer openly claims he can trespass someone from a public sidewalk, a statement that completely collapses under legal scrutiny. Rather than de-escalating after hearing the citizen's explanation and reviewing the available video evidence, the officer doubles down. Every opportunity to resolve the misunderstanding is replaced with hostility and dismissiveness. The citizen points out that he never crossed the alleyway and never harassed anyone. Yet the officer detected filming activity as suspicious behavior simply because complaints were made. Worse, accusations from third parties are accepted without verification while the citizen's own video evidence is brushed aside. This is how constitutional violations often happen in real time, not through dramatic force, but through casual abuses of authority where officers assume they can pressure citizens into submission simply because they wear a badge.
Like crying because you just lost your father, and you're over there harassing.
I did nothing. I simply walked up there to the edge of the alleyway. I walked up to the edge of the alleyway, and I invited you over to the edge of the building so I can point over there and show you right where I was. I walked. You don't give a fuck. That's the problem. You really don't care. You don't care. So I walked up to the edge of the alleyway, and I stood there. And they said, "Well, what are you doing?" I said, "Filming anything I can see from public view." That was it, because I walked around the corner from the old hospital building, seen an ambulance there. That was it. So I walked up to the edge of the alleyway. That's exactly what was said. And then I said, and then she told me, "Fuck you." And I said, "Congratulations, you're exercising your rights just like I am mine." That was the whole conversation. That was all that was said. End of story. Literally less than 60 seconds later, I walked away and came this way. I didn't even go past the edge of the alleyway. That's exactly how it happened. I have video proof of it. There was no harassment whatsoever. You need to learn the IC code for harassment too, by the way.
I know that IC code for harassment.
Okay. Huh?
That is not harassment.
Exactly. And that's what I'm telling you, man. I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I'm just explaining to you that all I'm out here doing is a constitutionally protected activity. I did not harass her. That's literally all that was said, man. That's literally it. And you riled up this conversation like this.
No, I came up real nice, asking who you are, what you're doing, what's up.
Okay, and I was on the phone with my wife, and I was nice enough to get off.
As the argument drags on, the pattern becomes unmistakable. The legal justification constantly changes because no valid justification actually exists. First, the officer insists is trespassing. Then it becomes harassment. Then emotional appeals about grieving family members are introduced to create moral pressure where legal authority is absent. But none of those claims alter the facts. The citizen clearly explains his exact movements, remaining entirely on public property and disengaging within moments of the brief interaction. There is no evidence of threats, intimidation, or criminal conduct. What truly frustrates the officer is not unlawful behavior, but the existence of someone confidently exercising constitutional rights while refusing to be bullied. This is the dangerous point where law enforcement stops enforcing laws and begins enforcing personal feelings instead. embarrassment, discomfort, and irritation become substitutes for actual legal standards, placing individual liberty at the mercy of subjective opinion rather than objective law.
Conversation with you.
Yeah.
Okay?
So here's the thing. It's equivalent to, like, if I come on your property, you have every...
But I didn't go on anybody's property. I was on the sidewalk.
And it's equivalent to me. Like, if you come on my property, I have the right to trespass you.
Correct. But I didn't go on the property. I was on this public sidewalk, man. I didn't even go past the alleyway. It's on video. It's on video. Video weighs up more than anything.
That, you never showed me the video. You continue to record.
No, because you told me that you're not going to arrest them for false informing.
Well, no, that's because it's not false informing.
It is. For them to lie, and say that then it's false informing, man.
What's up, boss?
How you doing, man?
What's going on?
What's your name, badge number?
I'm Officer Gonzalez.
Okay, you sergeant. Shift.
Specialist. What's up, man?
Oh, okay. So check this out, man. So I'm just walking down this way. I went in front of the old hospital building there, and I turned around the corner, seen there was an ambulance there with its lights on, and I couldn't see anything else past what was going on with it. I wasn't sure if there was like a crash or something like that. So I walked down that way. I didn't even go past the alleyway.
Right.
Name and badge number, please.
Dyer, 14.
You a sergeant, or I'm explaining that right now. Okay, cool. So I'm walking this way, in front of the hospital building, walk around the corner, and seeing that there was an ambulance with its lights on. Couldn't see anything past it. Figured maybe there was a crash or something. Went to walk down. I didn't even get past the alleyway.
The arrival of a supervisor immediately changes the tone of the encounter. Suddenly, calm explanations replace aggressive demands, and the citizen is finally given space to clearly describe what actually occurred. He explains how he briefly approached the area, stayed on the public sidewalk, observed the ambulance from a lawful distance, and walked away less than a minute later. Once the facts are calmly presented, the narrative constructed by the initial officer begins falling apart. Notice what disappears almost instantly: the aggressive detention posture, the repeated demands for identification, and the threats of enforcement. No citation is issued. No arrest occurs. No legal basis for the detention is ever established. The shift demonstrates why recording encounters with police is so important. Without documentation, situations like this are often rewritten later as justified officer discretion. But when video exists, assumptions and exaggerations become far more difficult to defend.
There wasn't any crash or anything, so I was just about to turn around and come back this way, and this is ridiculous at this point. Now you're triggering my PTSD, and we're gonna have problems. Okay, so yes, please, okay, because I don't want that to happen. Okay.
Say whatever. I'm not talking about it.
All right, so sir, do you want me to explain this to you, or?
Go ahead.
Okay, so when I get down there and notice that there was no crash, then I went ahead and was about to come this way. She says to me, "What are you doing?" I said, "Filming anything I can see from public view." Okay,
What?
and then a girl that was sitting over there.
Like a random girl? Was she like a police officer? Or was she like...
No, she was just a girl that was sitting there. Okay, so she asked me what I was doing. I just said, "Filming anything I can see from public view." I didn't even walk past the alleyway. I was still on the public sidewalk.
Yeah.
And then she tells me that the next thing she tells me was, "Fuck you." I said, "Well, congratulations. You can participate in constitutional protected activity too." And that was the extent of the whole conversation. Literally less than 60 seconds later, I walked off and left.
Have a good day. See you.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day. Thank you for harassing me. Thank you for allowing them to harass me. Appreciate it. Thank you.
In the final moments, the encounter quietly collapses under the weight of its own contradictions. The citizen calmly restates the facts, explaining once again that he never entered private property, never harassed anyone, and simply exercised his right to record from public view. The supervisor listens, the tension fades, and the detention effectively dissolves without consequence because there was never lawful justification to begin with. What remains is a powerful reminder about the importance of constitutional awareness. This situation was never about public safety. It was about an officer assuming authority he did not legally possess and expecting unquestioned compliance in return. But rights only survive when people are willing to assert them calmly and confidently. Recording police interactions protects both evidence and accountability. Knowledge prevents intimidation from replacing law. And this encounter proves that when citizens understand their rights, unlawful authority often retreats the moment it is forced into the light.